My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence, that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only, and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes, and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C., and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state.
America. And you have a warrant.
Okay, can you repeat that?
I already told you once, so I need you to get out.
This is Hazelwood and
Erica,
Owens.
out of the sleep bag, or I will take you out.
A warrant for what?
For the same thing that you went to jail for, and the same thing that you went
For
to
the
jail.
camping?
Yep.
There's a warrant for camping?
Because you didn't go to court. Yep.
Oh, okay. When this is monitoring, this is ILA.
So
Okay,
do you want
this
to
is
get out,
P.O.C.
or do you want me to take you out?
This is
I'm
P.O.C.
not gonna play any games with you this time.
This is what, you're gonna get violent? Is that what
Say
you're?
that.
That's what it sounds like. You got a gun on your waist while you're threatening your gang stalking me.
Get out of the sleeping.
I'm getting out.
I told you 3 times. Get out of the.
All right. Okay, Owens, thank you. Okay. This is my bag.
Follow
You know,
simple. Just
that's
follow
what-
simple
I'm just saying,
instructions.
that's with me. Don't take that to the home.
Go and stand up for me.
Let me put my shoes on. Let me put my shoes on.
Step up.
No, let me get my shoes on.
Okay, step up.
Okay.
Victor 3 different.
703 now.
Transmit your back.
Can you get my shoes, please?
I'll get them for you.
No, I want to put them on. Don't take them to the
I know.
storage.
We're gonna put them on for you.
Okay. That's on my person. My phone is on my person, and my shoes are on my person. Thank you. So I can't put them on now.
Slide your foot.
That's what my phone, please. Thank you. My phone's in this pocket. That phone. Oh.
Back so you grab the seatbelt.
Investigation unit on the TV.
Just ask to put your shoes on. So.
I know. I don't want to lock on.
That's gonna go down for sure.
Leaving my stuff there?
Yeah, we can't take that to booking.
Just a sleeping bag. We have your backpacks. We just can't take this. Your phones I have. Both of them.
And my headphones?
And your headphones.
I need my sleeping bag. You won't buy me another sleeping bag. That's my property.
Okay. We can't take it to our.
You take it to the storage like you always do. Why are you leaving my property?
Yeah, we got an email saying that we can't take that.
You got an email saying you can't take my property, but you're taking my person? You can gang stop me, but you can't take my property when you're kidnapped?
Gang stalking?
Gang stop.
You got an email before you came and kidnapped me, so you planned to do that before you came and got me? What are you talking about?
I'll explain it to you in just a second.
That's my blanket and my sleeping bag. That's my property.
I'm aware of that.
Okay, well, is Ontario Police going to buy me another one? You don't get to throw my property away. That's a trespass to my property.
I just said I'll explain it to you in a second.
You guys trying to find some way to harass me while you're engaging in this?
No, you're doing the same shit you do every single time.
You say what?
You heard me.
No, I didn't. Speak up. Harassing and throwing my property away.
Did you know
is not
that
valid.
dude that was walking the dog? The guy that was walking the dog, do you know who he is?
Are you talking about my property right now?
I'm talking about the guy with the dog. Do you know who he is?
Why are you leaving my property? Why are you leaving my property? I need my property. Can you buy me another one? What are you doing? This is some sort of oppression or something? I need my property.
Starting on just 5,000.
Do you know the guy with the dog? Miss Erica?
It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Approximately 5 in the morning.
The caller has hung up. From 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 3:39 p.m. To replay option not private, it will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. The caller has hung up. To reach 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 3:41 p.m. To replay this message, press 1. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. The caller has hung up. To replay this message, press 1. From 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 3:42 p.m. To replay this message, private, it will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. From 19096464220 received Wednesday, 4th February 2026 at 3:45 p.m. Not private.
Engaging in criminal surveillance at West Valley. This is Shannon Dykes' engagement as the facility is engaging in with kidnapping together with Upland Police, Chino Police, Pomona Police, Rialto Police, Colton Police, and the San Bernardino County Police Department. Again, Kay Cole is engaged in what is targeting opening and closing the door, where I'm being accosted on the inside of the vehicle with an possible light activity. These are demons that come to engage in the pattern of conduct at San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department with knowledge that's produced through the maintenance of a light source that is in abandoning Old San Community Library, while it is holding me at the Valley Detention Center, where Upland is being stalking at the same intersection where I was kidnapped this morning. Upland is sharing what is criminal surveillance in Ontario, California on May 3rd as a matter of documentation. Upland police, including Upland, is being stalking and maybe kidnapping at San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department Valley Detention Center on May 3rd. Arriving again at approximately 1:40 p.m. Subject to what is ongoing molestation while they are monitoring people from the vehicles to the building back and forth with the inmates with the so-called medical professionals that are engaged in kidnapping while the pattern of conduct is they're doing that while they are sharing and not mentioning while mostly engaging with it, so they're lost. I want to document that, and it's also relevant to Jasmine who's engaged in what is kidnapping as well as the medical professionals money sharing the community inside of her office while Jonathan and the entity that is being talked about the various companies are sharing, and that includes Rialto, Colton, Pomona, San Bernardino County Information, and Upland that are sharing in that team. It means
the caller has hung up. To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. To save, from 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 3:49 p.m. To replay, it will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
They are also engaged in what is asserting a warrant that will be San Bernardino County. That is the state of California that's engaging in that pattern of conduct, the assertion of fictitious authority upon the pattern of conduct, and they're doing so pursuant to kidnapping. And then the entities engaging in that pattern of conduct, including while asserting that fictitious authority. This is relevant while the ongoing kidnapping is underway at San Bernardino County with people of the state who are in the position even as being in custody, gang stalking with the state, doing so at West Valley under the state sun. I am subject to sexual assault battery by Ken Carvajal at the Ontario Police Station. I'm subject to sexual assault battery at the bus stop by Owens and Craig Hazelwood. I'm subject to sexual assault battery by the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department at the facility at 3:16 p.m. I'm looking at her watch while she's touching my person, which is sexual assault. While they're engaged in the pattern of conduct, they don't have the authority, and they're engaged in kidnapping while abusing what is a law enforcement. This is all Shannon Dyken, and this is Michael LORENZ. Upland is engaged in what is kidnapping, so is Pomona and the rest of the state, but I want to hone in on this week because they're in prison, gang stalking on video, as I'm capturing at 9 a.m. at the bus stop yesterday morning, and sharing what is kidnapping, participating in what is targeting me while I'm kidnapping with me or sharing it, while that department is engaged in what is monitoring at the San Bernardino County Detention Center under the state sun. Okay, this is a malicious P.O.C. It is, again, inside of the cell where the entity is maintaining the pattern of conduct with the entity investigation and ongoing kidnapping with the entity of obstruct justice. Writer, Amazon Prime, engaged in what is ongoing psychopathic cases on the roads and the highways, based on the many over me while Jonathan is driving a white van from the police station to West Valley Detention Center. And the entity also is engaging in what is the assertion of a warrant for kidnapping. I want to make sure that I reiterate that while they're engaging in that POC, doing so while publishing the evidence on the internet regarding 2022. These are the tactics that the entity also engaged in kidnapping in order to stop me from slow down my publishing of what is appropriate evidence. And this is adding to the public value of the entire POC, including what it is that I'm documenting and publishing in 2022.
The caller has hung up. To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press set from 19096464220. Received 4th February 2026, Wednesday at 3:52 p.m. To not private, it will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
This is monitoring with Upland Police, doing so with Vanderbilt, who appears to be a previously documented gang stalker at Upland Public Library. Also, yeah, that's P.O.C. Also, the Spindle Dorfer. These are the two white males, and Marshall is monitoring with them, letting the inmates in and out as a means of pacing in the specific environment. The face gun is over the facility. Marshall is gang stalking while I am subject to kidnapping, and that's why I'm addressing him right now while he's engaging in the pattern of conduct. So the time of this voicemail is the timestamp, and I'm going to include this in the podcast. The two that are gang stalking with the people in the state at the facility are engaging in what is maintaining conspicuous presence. It's not different from the pattern of conduct that I'm showing every day at the library, in traffic, by the airport, by the entity that's on my helicopter, that do so in a flagrant manner, do so in a manner that you are aware of, that is conspicuously. That's exactly what's going on. It all gets incorporated inside of what is a building under circumstances of what is corrupt law enforcement who are monitoring. That is literally stalking while wearing law enforcement uniforms inside of a building, having keys and access to cells where they are monitoring. Okay, Marshall is monitoring that San Bernardino County with Upland Police, specifically Spindle Dorfer, Sendledorfer, and Vanderbilt, a white male who, if I recollect correctly, is documented engaging in what is the pattern of conduct, particularly even kidnapping. It is not Vanderbilt, but he was very familiar with regards to what is documented in 2022. So this is relevant to the kidnapping that the entity is engaged in right now. Okay. If this is not Vanderbilt, I just want to nonetheless document that this is what I am trying to recall on my own without my evidence in front of me. But Vanderbilt sounds familiar and also looks familiar. Nonetheless, there was a white male and a white female that engaged in kidnapping with Upland Police in 2022 at the Upland Public Library. The entity is aware of everything that I'm documenting using this phone and leaving it on my voicemail as well. Marshall is targeting with regard to the moment that he's letting an inmate in and out of his cell. Notable activity in Upland Police are specifically engaged in that P.O.C. Stalking. It's all that pattern of conduct. They're just demons that are dressed up in uniforms, getting stalking inside of what is Shannon Dykes' criminal system underway at West Valley Detention. That's what's notable. Right? It's currently, I just want to be clear, this entity stole my, by stealing, they stole it by leaving it on the bench. The people of the state celebrating and my being kidnapped and leaving that.
To replay this message, press 1. To do from 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 5:03 p.m. Not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Being documented while it remains subject to the pattern of conduct pursuant to the expectations authority, while the entity is keeping my evidence that I'm also publishing on the internet about the entity online. This is relevant to retaliatory conduct, it's relevant to criminal obstruction, and you happen to kidnappers Owen and Craig Hazelwood, who are clearly willing to subject themselves to federal prison with regard to committing a kidnapping in order to harass and target me. The entity, it's not just Craig and Owen, the entity that's hostile, that's Chino police that are hostile, that's Upland police that are hostile, that's Fontana police that are hostile while I'm publishing this evidence, that's engaged in what is stealing my property, throwing my sleeping bag and my blankets away that I need when it's cold outside and I'm sleeping. The entity that's monitoring me and monitoring what I'm publishing online. The entity's engaging in what is stealing a whole day while the OVITT Family Community Library. The demons like Mickey who are hostile while I call them out of my evidence, while they are embarrassed while I am prosecuting them. And the entity commits kidnapping with the intent to obstruct justice, retaliation. And Owens and Craig Hazelwood are not the only defendants who are going to federal prison. This is relevant to the entity that's being documented. Remember, it's not just what I'm documenting on a daily basis. It's the pattern of conduct, what it is that I'm publishing at that point in time. Who is engaging in retaliatory conduct? I'm in the middle of publishing evidence as of April 23rd, 2022. I'm exposing the city of Upland. I'm exposing the city of Chino. I'm exposing the city of Pomona. And while everything is being compared to what the entity is doing in Los Angeles, California, that's already published, and also Ontario, where they're maintaining the pattern of conduct. Shannon Dykes is relevant to what is removing what is literally criminal conduct by the facility where all the gang stalk police departments come and target the people of the state. They were pacing to and from Jasmine, and our nanny was losing her license, who was engaging in kidnapping today. My shadows are upright. The light activity that I've shown everywhere is inside of this demon's office, who's asking me questions that she knows the answer to, while violating also HIPAA while she's engaging in a kidnapping, and in doing so while the pattern of conduct is asking questions in the face son, the behavior of psychopaths. Okay? And they're engaging in that with the entity that's monitoring my evidence. This is the entity that stole my confessions of pettiness that's going to put them away in prison for decades. That's going to be the unprecedented basis of damage. So I want to make sure that that's clear. It is still February 4th, 2026. The entity engaged in what is theft of my time and intrusion on this investigation and this evidence is being published with the intent to obstruct justice. Tracy Banks is going to prison and she knows that. The entity is also aware that they're fully prosecuted. The entity is just engaging in ongoing criminal activity while they are witnessing their real-time exposure. That's informing legislation.
To replay this message, press 1 from 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 8:27 p.m. Not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Calling on the phone inside of the cell at the valley and documentation of what is kidnapping, severely targeting well, in order to ensure some public evidence, I want to make sure that understood that I'm doing nothing for that purpose. And entity is the same way that I'm documenting, for example, I'm building the library, the reasons that I'm fairly interested in that, even working, talking by planes and helicopters and all that, while they're also talking to the your life, they are literally the level of obsession, the severity of women is an ongoing threat in my life. The enemy literally committed kidnapping while I'm in this public documentation job. This was developed for obstruction on the retaliation. And the city of Rancho documenting fully regarding documenting the incident of gang stalking going on the trip. The capture participant, this is the entity that is the city of Flint, going to Ontario to gang stalking, where I'm being kidnapped, and the city of Upland is gang stalking, the city of Rancho Columbia, that's the other one, going to West Valley. That's the police department at the FG party, kidnapping together so that they can fairly all around the country. The entity that's exceeding unprecedented, exceedingly violent criminal conduct, sexually motivated, also strange, and the entity is using the conduct in front of the world. Function the evidence, and if you literally committed kidnapping, Owens and Craig Hazelwood are fully willing to go to federal prison to engage what is asserting a warrant pursuant to kidnapping, County, Shannon Dykes, Bernardino County, and the rest of Cucamonga exercising judicial authority that they engage in a cell as of 2 a.m. to what is now at 9:30 p.m. to be all around stalking gang stuff and multiple engaging that while I'm kidnapped at West Valley. That's literally the reason why I'm being kept in the cell. That is the underlying purpose. This is relevant to what is criminal activity by a government that's surveillance very high. Very.
To replay this message, press 1 from 19096464220. Received 4th February 2026, Wednesday at 10:31 p.m. Not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
High crime, criminal violence, gang stalking, federal stalking, federal stalking, and the entity is doing so for purposes of really engaging with it, all working as expedience. We're angry about we're angry about the way we're angry about the fact that one individual is enforcing their life and is making others look bad, which there is no way to make them look down inside of these businesses. But these are people, they're mentally ill. This is uncontrolled corruption. All of dealing with spirit, that is dealing with also what is corruption that has been accustomed to bullying, violence. So the entity is literally untimely for an insurance here as I underscore the entity that is subject to federal. Okay, the relevant federal charges, what the entity knows, what it's committing, and what the entity took motive from that, what they're doing as they commit the crime with knowledge and relevant to what I'm publishing on the internet, what I'm documenting on the abuses, what I'm stating about vagina monitors, my oath that is over down the library, that I'm kidnapping people tonight, is not and Alexander Briggs, Gregory, Myra, and Insignia Rivas, and the other Insignia was physical handicap and gang stalking like any other person that's even what is violent, and the enemy doing so, those that are both working at the venue, that are visiting at the venue, and even what is monitoring, they're committing a kidnapping in order to indicate the vagina monitor that's the library, 17 library employee, that is punishable under the law, an ongoing criminal conspiracy as that is doing so with the intent of justice. As I engage in what is documented from the state identity committed kidnapping. As I engage in what is documented from the local game documents that must have under the same sun, the same short setting at the open library, identity of committed in doing so through criminals, kidnappers like Owens and people with no problem clearly stated. A federal judge will underscore the fact that he is not lying. That's probably the entire career of what the president is. Because that's exactly what's happening. They commit kidnapping with the retaliate, threaten, intimidate, obstruct justice. They're doing so on behalf of the demons that are in uplift for us. Demons come to Sunday with Ontario game talking. They've come to Rancho Cucamonga, and it is personal. The make fun of over me. To the driver.
To replay this message, press 1 from 19096464220. Received 4th February 2026, Wednesday at 10:35 p.m. Private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Marketing as an and as I am documenting on evidence, multiple cities are sharing this marketing. That is what is going on as far as what is the means of expanding and creating something multiple kidnapping and doing so for the purpose of what is allowed terrorizing kidnapping. Using the position with regards to law enforcement, really to what they're actually doing. They want to scare me, they want to house me in a cell, they can use them on the side for spark for time. You're doing so on the basis of the mentality. That's how personal it is. The rest of Shannon Dyke's facility sharing it while the multiple systems monitoring the police department, the ARCO department, the San Bernardino County Probation Department for sure kidnapping with regards to the 2020 kidnapping by the Ontario Police Department. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. We also was kidnapping with the road. We also Police Department is getting talked in 2024 when I was driving through Rialto, showing the fake of the Sunrise Church in Ospayala and on the Indian Nevada, where I'm documenting for Native American state of Nevada is being documented. The interviews engaged in this comment in regards to what I am told to comment. The bottom line is that even if the overcoming library going to they're sharing these kidnappings today. The community is hostile to my documentation. Literally another library, Paul Ryan Library in Rancho Cucamonga. Rancho Cucamonga is being talked to be kidnapped in location. So, with the demons of the content, being talked in Ontario and being talked in Rancho Cucamonga today with a bunch of knowledge of the active knowledge from every single federal charge, every single report regarding them, duration of time, enhancement of charges and enhancement. This is an entity government, a population that's funded. And that's what's behind the and the smell from 6 a.m. to after 9. This is like LORENZ, Shannon Dyke, with regards to their users that are sharing and facilitating it. And people today are engaged in surveillance and that government. All right, 9500 Etiwana Avenue, West Valley with the big Sunday arriving at 1:40 p.m. And as I remain in that parking lot, the Jasmine inside of the nurse's office is sharing the surveillance while being out of her office. Multiple police departments are using what are bookings. They're coming and engaging the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. All those bookings are evidence regarding who is sharing the kids. The guys that are being thought being as a possibility regarding everything that I am told. They're going to federal prison. From all that, please tell us not by the way.
To replay this message, press 1. From 19096464220. Received 4th February 2026, Wednesday at 10:39 p.m. Private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
And relevant position in instant life under the same sun, nothing other than parking in San Bernardino County with criminal justice department, where their business is Los County Sheriff's Department regarding any sort of jail. But again, Kennedy will create whatever you know. We have somebody from Ontario, from Boston down that they're doing it in a state that is Sacramento police are coming down to physically engage with kidnapping. It's understated to understand that the entity that is the rest that is mental jail engaged in what is used for something that's important as law enforcement is engaged in immediate methods of stalking anonymous someone that they are hostile. They are wearing guns and badges and exercising authority that they do not actually have under law while they are stalking and include someone of police full armed for the second time, December 9, 2025. They are kidnapping with regard to December 9th, in the same parking lot at the Bayfront OVITT. They're doing so again today, sharing what is kidnapping this document with Washington that are on exposing them on the internet. This is U.S. government while multiple police departments are being brought together. This is the way for someone to prepare of shutting down the standing preemptive reform for criminal conduct is necessary. Not law enforcement is that now kidnapping so that they can all get information, they can all engage in threats to their citizens, psychotic, engaging in psychopathic, in the old family community library, and the kids inside of that building, they're engaging in it at West Valley Center, one of the big countries. Okay, this is the entity that's engaged in that. Jay Marshall, he is at the Sheriff's Department. You can hear him monitoring with from Steve Vanderbilt and the Esther Goldberg. I said his name correctly before. Those Stevens represent the people who are active and engaged in that matter. And significance that they're representing each agency. They're doing so with regards to knowledge what I'm documenting on my voice. So upper police again, suicidal, self-detrimental conduct, and it's noted because they're going to prison for everything. They're going to federal prison for which they're sitting, no small thing. They will this still people while they're engaged in what is federal stalking, monitoring, all of these their position laws for prison, because I'm not being satisfied. I'm talking to this entity that engages in this kind of conduct unbeknownst to the American public who is sharing that with everybody.
To replay this message, press 1. From 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 10:48 p.m. Not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
And they are sharing in kidnapping with regard to the entity that I do not associate with, for example, tracing, for example, anyone, any patron, any family member, those who are engaging in the pattern of crime, those who are documented, those who have no means in actuality with regard to calling these for the phone number, and the only way that they would be able to call me would be to admit that they're engaged in surveillance. And it's not going to be conscious that the entity is always unconsciously admitting things when I document them. They're very uninformed while I document things that they say. But nonetheless, the entity is not going to call because that would be an admission. They will call with wrong numbers. They will call with spam numbers. They will not call and identify themselves like, hey, the automatic question is, how did you do this? Okay, what I'm communicating, including people like the United States, I want to be clear, the entity is absolutely invested in my community with people like you saying the entity who is interested in stealing my property. I have no right to know well on her to resume communication. This is an entity that is aware of the fact that money that they stole from me is coming to stealing all of my property, kidnapping so that I'm in some position of me calling them. Can I hit up blanket or I'm in some position of need so that they can be in I just want to be clear with regard to unity and all the motives behind that. Tracy Banks is going to prison. Jason Fields is going to prison. Eric Spencer is going to prison. And I am being kidnapped for their purposes as well with regard to literally kidnapping me in the hope that I will. This is the type of people that I am running with. This is the type of bizarre and defensive cases. They're literally engaging in criminal activity for these city councils, I want to be clear. The mayor of Ontario, Paul Leon, is being prosecuted while undocumented as part of the contact with Ontario. He is engaging in surveillance, is fully aware, and the ongoing violence that the substitute has including inmates with our criminal content unthinkable occurring on his watches and sharing. This is relevant to the entity that is targeting regarding those that are stealing my property away, creating more causing more damages, trying to exacerbate the harm, while they are also creating a need for them in my life. I want to make sure that that's clear. This is relevant to those who are going to federal prison and the way in which the government is targeting me, and the government is very much invested in my maintaining communication with those who have inspired my murder, like Tracy Banks, like James Hill.
The caller has to replay this message. Press 1 from 19096464220 received 4th February 2026 Wednesday at 10:54 p.m.